It is NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams. Should be a terrific game here tonight. From Spectrum Center in Uptown Charlotte, tonight, the Charlotte Hornets getting set to match up with the Oklahoma City Thunder. All right, here we go. Walker, deep left corner. To Miles Bridges. And now he's going to shoot a few more as he's fouled going up for it.
Guys like Gary Payton would always take ones early like this all the time. Number one, to see if they'll get caught. And number two, to leave a little mark on you to remind you that they'll be on you all game long.
And he connects on the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2. Oklahoma City ball. Pass to the rim. Miles Bridges. Plenty of contact. The shot no good.
If it's this easy for the offense, as a shooter, I'm starting to think about numbers like 40, 50.
Steven Adams with the slam. Jay, I'm surprised he had a chance to wrap him up.
Well, you're not the only one surprised. This guy is not a good free throw shooter. You never let him have an easy bucket. If anything, make him earn it at the charity stripe.
Wade. The shot blocked by Grant.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
Westbrook across the timeline. He'll run the offense. Got a piece of him.
Jumping out the gym right now, Ed.
Great anticipation. Dwayne Wade. Inside, he scores.
That's what you like. That rip through right into the shot. That's smooth.
Have to respect all elements of his game. Paul George. To Adams. Shot by Adams, off iron, no. To Wade. Here's a chance from long range. That's not his range. It's no good. Westbrook into the front court. Down just a couple. George, his first effort, off the mark. Carmelo driving, but his shot won't fall. Knocked loose. Russell Westbrook steps into it. Missed it. He always has the green light, but the defense was ready. Gets it in the right corner. Walker to Anthony. Nothing going here on that drive. Anthony scores from the post. Knowing Carmelo Anthony, the competitor, you know he wants to do the same things as he was doing 5 years ago. Can he?
Well, the answer easy is no. Your mind is telling you yes, but your body is saying the exact opposite. The next step for Carmelo Anthony is to understand that he needs to keep it simple. He's a catch-and-shoot player, help provide spacing and open up that lane for other players to attack.
Charlotte basketball. With another basket there.
It's always those sneaky athletic ones. These guys get you every time. Hashtag team don't sleep.
Westbrook into the front court. 8-2 our score. George to Westbrook. To Paul George. The drive right to the basket. Westbrook to Adams. From the painted area, won't go down. Basket's good on the follow. Way to stay with it.
That's what they need to do more of. Attack that basket. Hit him where it hurts.
Walker. And it's rebounded by Adams. George. Well, their first three, and they're right back in it, within a possession in this first quarter.
Well, I don't want to live in the past, but if you got a couple of those to drop earlier, you could have had a nice lead. Now, we got a dogfight.
Nice pass to get things going.
And did you see the lift on the shot? Did you see the ball release off the hand? To be able to have the concentration to finish with such a feathery touch in the midst of contact, that's something special to watch.
Paul George to Westbrook. Shot by Westbrook won't go. Anthony goes to the left side. Baseline drive. That's usually one that he'll knock down.
Your contest was great because of your proximity to the player. You forced his follow-through to be cut short.
And throws it down.
I don't think I could do that on a 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. Oh, it's Westbrook to block the shot. Miles Bridges.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
And Carmelo Anthony, zero hesitation as he knocks down the three.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
The Thunder will use a timeout as they'll talk things over in what's now a 4-point game. And a whistle.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
Defensive foul to number 15, Kemba Walker. That's his first personal foul.
Westbrook down to Grant. Not that time, and not his shot. Hornets have the basketball. Anthony to Wade. Has a chance. Not going down for him this time. To Westbrook. Nothing going here on that drive. Westbrook's shot won't go on the drive. To Miles Bridges. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
Ed, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
The free throw, perfect. And the lead is up to 7. Russ at the controls.
Pick up.
Nothing going here on that drive. From long range, yes. Or in the case of the defense, not good.
But it was how he created the shot. As a defender, there's a tendency to stand up when you stare at the ball. Offensive player recognized that, continuously moved without the ball. Bang, that's how he set it up.
Missed it. They weren't going to give that to him. Wade.
And one of the most underrated things in this game is quick lateral speed. Good job by utilizing that speed and taking away the lane.
Westbrook. Trying to cash in, just not going down.
Yeah, if I'm the teammate of that guy that just got scored on, I'm telling him on my way back down the floor, look, I appreciate you being there, but I need you to really be there. I need you to be more engaged and give more effort on the defensive end. That's the only way we're going to win this game.
Now a three at the buzzer. Three-pointer at the buzzer, almost. It would have counted, but it's no good. And that does it for the first quarter. So the Hornets with the lead after one at Spectrum Center. Jay and I return to Uptown Charlotte after this. This is the NBA, and it's on EA Sports. One quarter down, long way to go. So buckle up, it's wide open.
And when both teams are playing at this level, it just continues to reaffirm that I was excited to watch both of these teams play this entire week. It's been a solid game so far, but this has a chance to be a great one down the stretch.
Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Charlotte with the basketball. Walker. Off the mark. With defense like that, little margin for error.
And you have to remember that your hand is part of the ball. There wasn't enough contact on that play for the refs to blow the whistle.
Oh, they call the foul, Jay.
Just a tic-tac foul.
George. Schroeder. They get it to George. Down low. Strong finish for Paul George.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice finish. It's all business.
To Anthony. Count it. No and one. There was some contact there. Jay, mixed opinions with Carmelo Anthony. How will you remember his career?
Well, as of right now, he's a catch-and-shoot type player. But for me personally, Carmelo Anthony will go down as one of the greatest isolation players of all time. Back in his Denver days, his earlier New York Knicks days, there was nobody better in an isolated set than CA.
To Walker. No good, and no foul.
And you see so many players quit on a play after they were beat the first time, but not him. He stayed on his hip, he fought back, and he made the player miss the shot. That's great defense.
Anthony to Wade. Wade shot no good. To George. Rejected.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
Anthony to Miles Bridges. Block shot.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Count it.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
Now a whistle, and we're going to get a timeout from OKC as they'll talk things over in what's now a 4-point game. Schroeder.
Entering the game for the Charlotte Hornets, number 11.
Shot from the lane won't go.
Misses happen. Don't put your head down. Let that motivate you.
Turns and slams it down.
It's so amazing when you get a chance to see a player in his own space. It's almost as if the defense doesn't exist. He can go left, he can go right, he can attack. He's playing on that court by himself.
Screen left, coming, screen left, coming, screen left.
To Schroeder. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Oh, he couldn't get it to go. Hornets right now in possession.
I got him. Let's go.
Yes, it drops. Little drama on that one. Change of scenery, but how can Melo still impact a franchise?
It all starts with a mindset. It starts with embracing and accepting your new role. He is no longer a starter in this league. He's a guy that's going to need to be positive on the bench, bring in his shooting abilities off the bench, and also be a coach when he's on the floor. That's the next step in the evolution for Carmelo Anthony.
Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
Oh, man, did you see that swiftness? He dunked that thing like a tennis ball.
It looked like that in his hand. Walker. That ball's out of bounds, off the Hornets. The opposing coach is going to counter, make some changes of his own. Westbrook to Adams. Not that time. To Schroeder. today.
You know, Ed, so many players think the only way they can get big money is on the offensive end, but this is a game about roles. If your role is to be a defender, get your money on that end, please.
Schroeder with the basketball. Down 6. To Westbrook. Nothing going here on that drive. To Westbrook. Has a look. Can't connect. The shot blocked by Anthony. And he's fouled. Earns a trip to the foul line, Jay.
I don't know about that one, Ed. I always thought your hand was part of the ball.
Team foul number 2 for
Knocks down the first. And gets both to drop at the line. Hornets at the controls of this one. Crawford to Miles Bridges. Curling inside. Picked up by the Thunder.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
He throws it down.
It's that easy, Ed. You never want to leave any doubt when attacking the rim.
Walker with the basketball. 2-point advantage. Nothing going here on that drop. Leaving no doubt. Slams it down.
If you didn't dunk that, then we would have to talk about it.
2 minutes left in the second quarter.
Driving right to the basket. George missed it. Not much more you could ask for from the defense there. That ball's out of bounds off the Hornets. Coach has seen enough. He wants some changes. New personnel onto the floor.
Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook with the rock. Has a chance. Shot by Westbrook off the mark. To Miles Bridges. Probing the defense. Doesn't end up putback slam.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
Westbrook with the basketball. Now down 6. Westbrook to Paul George. Oh, too much contact. Free throws on the way.
That's actually not a bad move at all. You're applying more pressure on him by sending him to the line.
First one, count it. Able to convert on both free throws.
Get it, shoot it again.
Across the timeline, it's Walker. Leads 4. Walker to Anthony. Can't connect. Defense did its job that time. To Adams. Inside, he scores.
That's a strong finish. Regardless of contact, finishing strong is key.
Charlotte basketball. Walker to Anthony. Just off the mark. Paul George to Westbrook. He was all over him. Missed the shot. No free throws. George. Scores from the post.
Hand down, man down. You got to get up and contest the shot.
Walker into the front court. Looking to make something happen.
Oh, yeah, me and you.
Walker. He's looking for that touch. George. Cashes in. Someone has to get into a zip code.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next level elite PG. No doubt about it, this year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
We've reached halftime in a 2-point game. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando as we go from Jay to Jalen. It's Jalen Rose with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
The Thunder have the lead, but not by much. They decided to make a statement in the opening half, and they did it by throwing down dunk after dunk after dunk. I think the rim is still shaky. are the guys getting buckets for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Charlotte Hornets have got to be frustrated by the fact they've scored so many points and still don't have the lead. This kind of offensive output can be difficult to maintain, but if they can do it, it'll be very impressive, no matter what the outcome. Have a look at the leading scores. For the Charlotte Hornets,
Game track. Assists.
we're seeing unselfish basketball in this matchup, with each team turning good shots into great shots. These squads really...
Player of the half.
Adams put in the hard work that's needed to grab all of those rebounds. He was a rock for his team.
Who was cold?
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he fits the title of this segment. He was definitely cold in that first half. Here's our top plays from the first half.
Number 2.
All right, back to the second half. I'll see you after the game.
Thunder with the basketball. Nothing going here on that drive. Schroeder to George. Finishing inside the paint on that one. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively, he makes those clutch shots. It re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
Coach is going to shift gears and adjust his matchups. Walker. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number 1, create contact, and number 2, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
The Thunder have the possession. Paul George. And counted at the rim.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
Batum to Kemba Walker. Anthony. That's off the side of the rim, short.
Hey, lock up.
To Schroeder. In close there. 2 points on the board.
No fading on that shot. Strictly up and down.
Fundamentals 101. From the painted area, won't go down. Here's Schroeder with it. Leads 5. Screen coming. He was smothered and still gets it to go down.
I love when I get a chance to watch guys who can make more out of what they actually have in their arsenal. And that's who Dennis Schroeder is. For a guy who really can't shoot, he sure does put the ball in the bucket.
Nothing going here on that drive. With another basket there.
And that footwork was absolutely off the charts. Just that space, splash.
That's me.
Hornets have the basketball. Walker to Anthony. Missed it. They weren't going to give that to him.
Let's be realistic. He's probably not going to miss a lot of shots. But the more effort you can give, you want to try to tire him out. Take his legs away. Make him work to catch the ball. That's how you win the defensive battle.
George. Westbrook to Paul George. To Westbrook. a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
Whoops, that won't go. Anthony to Ep.2. Knocks it down from mid-range.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
The assist from number 23.
Westbrook with it. The lead stands at 9. Runner's good there. We've seen Paul George's game evolve in recent years. Mixed results, Jay. How does he get back to being that elite two-way guy?
I think he needs to find a way to be aggressive. Let me bring you in and tell you what he dealt with this past year. When you're a guy who's used to having the ball in your hands, you can make more mistakes because you have more possessions. Then all of a sudden, when you play with a ball-dominant guard like Russell Westbrook, you don't have the ball as much, which means you try to make more out of less opportunity that you have. You force the action way more. Look for Paul George to be way more assertive in this game and find his rhythm by having the ball in his hands.
And he's fouled. Very close. Free throws coming up.
I say this a lot, and it's only because coaches harp on it all the time. Read the scouting report. Know who you can and should send to the line. This is a case of knowing a shooter probably had a better chance of hitting a jumper than he does of hitting the free throws.
Charlotte with the basketball. Walker. Baseline drive. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
Hey, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Free throw good. A three-point play. And they're back within single digits. Down by 9.
My ball.
Paul George to Schroeder. Knocked away at the rim. That ball's out of bounds off the Hornets. George. The shot by Noel off the mark. Anthony.
Hey, match up.
To Batum. Got a piece of it.
Jumping out the gym right now, Ed.
Great anticipation. OKC ball. To Schroeder. Sizing up the defense. Schroeder to George. To Schroeder. Trying to cash in. Not that time. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
He should get some kind of acting award. That's a great sell by the offensive player. But guess what? The ref spit, and that's the game.
The free throw is good. Finishing off the three-point play. The lead grows to 12. Into the front court, it's Walker. The deficit now up to 12. Walker to Anthony. Spins away from the defender. Sweet move. It's rejected by Noel. Thunder get it back. Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. Lead is 12. And draws the foul.
Smart play to rip through the extended arm of the defender. That will get you to the free throw line every time.
First free throw is good. And fails to hit them both. It's the first, misses the second. Hornets right now in possession. Anthony. That ball's out of bounds off the Hornets. Shifting gears. Here comes some substitutions. Won't go down. Defender's lucky he wasn't called.
Well, you can't finish with your right hand on the left side of the rim. You actually have to use your opposite hand. Steve Nash is one of the best at this. Different shots at different angles, high off the glass, expecting that there are trees down below with long wingspans that can block your shot.
Shot from the lane won't go.
And the game is so different. In today's NBA, defenders are longer, quicker, and more athletic than we've ever seen before. So offensively, as a shooter, you either have to be able to create more space off the dribble for your shot or have a much faster release. Ideally, you have both in your arsenal.
Hornets at the controls of this one. Walker to Ep.2. Takes stock of the floor. Batum to Walker. Got a piece.
And that's light work for a guy with his ability.
Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
Free throw good to cap off the three-point play as they continue to open things up here in the third quarter. Now whistle, and Charlotte is going to use a timeout as their coaching staff wants to talk things over here in this third quarter. Anthony to Batum for 3. Nick Batum forcing that one. No good. No good. Defense catching a break there. Another follow. Stays out.
I just love where this takes you into the psychological battle as a player offensively. Was that a great contest, or did you just miss the shot? But now you have me thinking about that the entire next possession.
Won't go. And Patterson. And grabs the rebound. Oklahoma City's got it. Schroeder to Paul George. Strong finish for Paul George.
Man, they are just continuing to pour it on. But the one thing we know about in this league, you have to make sure that you continue to play with energy because leads can evaporate quickly.
Oh, good defense there. Thunder with the steal. And they call the foul. Jay, he was there too late.
I don't know, Ed. Maybe there's a long-term play here. But next game, we're going to be aggressive early. Maybe.
And hits the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2 at the line.
Good shot.
Parker into the front court. Down a bundle.
Get down. Half court. Here come.
Missed that one. The defender was all over him.
And you have to remember that your hand is part of the ball. There wasn't enough contact on that play for the refs to blow the whistle.
Straight on 3. At the buzzer. Third quarter comes to an end. The fourth quarter on the... It's been a compelling game so far. The fourth quarter is underway. Charlotte basketball. Parker. Oh, he missed a short one there.
As a great player, I would love it if somebody guarded me that way. I get guarded that way every day in practice. You know what we call those? Dummy workouts.
Beyond the arc for 3. Yes. Give the advantage to the shooter.
And a defense's ability to recognize personnel and think thoroughly and precisely in real-time moments, that's everything for your transition D.
Westbrook across the timeline. His guys hold a commanding lead. And too much contact.
His timing was a tad bit off.
Time for some new personnel into the game.
Steven Adams. And number 17, Dennis Schroeder.
Hey, left.
To Schroeder. Lets it fly from long range. And Dennis Schroeder, zero hesitation, buries the 3.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
4-3. And the Thunder with the rebound. Schroeder with the basketball. His guys holding the big lead. Baseline drive, hand in his face, still hits. You don't see that very often.
You know, it reminds me out of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
To Adams. With a drop step. Scores from the post.
I tell you, he's so special, Ed. He makes the game look easy.
A lot of hard work to make it look easy. Hornets have the basketball. The shot turned away by Robertson. And that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Thunder. Parker. Now pass taken away by the Thunder.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in 1st and 2nd grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
Oh, whistle.
He took a chance. That's the right.
Yeah, baby, here we go, here we go. Yeah, baby, here we go, here we go.
Substitutions, Oklahoma City. Into the game,
Parker. To Wade. Going to launch beyond the arc. Not a good shot there as he misses it. Thunder with the basketball. Schroeder. Parker with it. His guys down big. Off the iron. No good. To Schroeder. Not done yet. And he's fouled. A trip to the line coming up.
Look, I get it. Being down sucks. But you can't just start haphazardly playing defense and committing silly fouls. Play this game with purpose.
First one goes down. 2 for 2 on that trip. To Wade. Fires the 3. That out of his range and no good. Oklahoma City ball. Schroeder. Down low, Noel. Good victory here for the Thunder as they